All right, let's just jump right into this explainer by confronting a massive problem we all face with acquiring new skills today. We all want to learn, right? We want to adapt and grow. But the reality is, our schedules are completely maxed out. Be honest with yourself for a second. When was the actual last time you sat through a 90-minute training without completely zoning out? Because whether it's mandatory corporate compliance or some personal online course you bought with the absolute best intentions, nobody has the attention span for a marathon session anymore. We end up clicking through at 2 times speed, or worse, just entirely losing our focus. It's a stark contrast, really. On one side, you've got the old school method, grueling, passive cramming that basically guarantees high dropout rates. But on the other side, we have the modern solution, active bursts of microlearning. We're talking short, hyper-focused sessions that actually help you build a consistent habit. Here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, why traditional learning fails. Second, the science of microlearning. Third, 3 proven learning techniques. Fourth, top microlearning software platforms. And finally, building your daily habit. Let's start with part 1, why traditional learning fails. Right off the bat, let's clear something up. Your brain isn't broken, and no, you're not too old to learn. Research from the National Institutes of Health confirms that adults retain strong neuroplasticity well past middle age. The problem is the method. Long, passive study sessions simply don't trigger the neuroplasticity we're fully capable of using. Your brain is wired to form new connections at any age, but it needs the right conditions, and those grueling marathon lectures just aren't it. And then you have to look at the practical reality of our daily lives. A massive 70% of workplace learning happens completely outside regular working hours. 70%! That absolutely proves we desperately need a method that respects our incredibly limited free time. You just can't expect people to tackle hour-long courses at 8 p.m. after they've already worked a full day. Moving right along to Section 2, the science of microlearning. Let's define what we're actually talking about here. Microlearning fundamentally shifts the whole mindset from learning takes hours to learning takes minutes. By zeroing in on just one complete idea at a time for, say, 3 to 10 minutes, you avoid cognitive overload. You're actually giving your brain a fighting chance to process the information. Next up is spaced repetition. It's the scientifically proven way to fight the forgetting curve. You know that feeling when you read a crucial fact and literally seconds later it's completely gone? Yeah, spaced repetition ensures you review material just before it slips away. It consolidates your memories over time, which is so much more effective than cramming everything into a single, stressful all-nighter. And the third piece of this cognitive puzzle is active recall. Look, just recognizing an answer on a page is absolutely not the same as pulling it from your own brain. When you actually force yourself to retrieve the answer from memory, you are physically strengthening the neural pathways tied to that knowledge. When you put these together, the results are frankly staggering. We're seeing that microlearning actually improves learning transfer by 17% and boosts engagement by a whopping 50% compared to traditional methods. Think about it. When learning actually fits into the tiny pockets of a busy day, people engage with it. And more importantly, they remember it so they can use it later. Okay, Section 3, 3 proven learning techniques. The University of Arizona points to this specific, expanding schedule for spaced repetition. Now, the absolute non-negotiable step here, do not delay that very first review session by more than a day. So you learn a concept on day 0, review it on day 1, and then the intervals stretch out to day 3, day 7, and day 14. Sure, any review is better than none at all, but this expanding schedule, that's the gold standard for long-term memory. Now, you really don't have to be a statistician to appreciate what an effect size of 0.55 means across dozens of meta-analyses. Basically, it proves that self-explanation and testing drastically outperform just rereading your notes. In the world of cognitive research, a 0.55 effect size is a massive indicator that this method is highly, highly effective for deepening your understanding. So how do you actually get that 0.55 effect size? You can use what's called the 15-minute Feynman loop. It essentially forces you to explain ideas simply, out loud, and aggressively hunt down the things you don't actually get yet. You pick a concept, act like you're teaching it to a total beginner, and when you stumble, which you will, you mark that gap, patch it using your source material, and re-explain it even faster. It's an active, challenging process, but man, does it guarantee comprehension. Learn, do, reflect. It sounds incredibly simple, but this is the rhythm of the modern learning cycle. You take in a tiny bit of info, you immediately practice it, and then you evaluate what worked. Forget passively watching a screen. This loop throws you straight into active engagement. You're learning because you're doing, not because someone is just talking at you for an hour. Let's dive into Section 4, Top Micro-Learning Software Platforms. I've broken down some of the absolute best platforms from our sources here. We've got them neatly divided between the heavy-hitting B2B enterprise tools and the everyday B2C apps you can download for your own personal growth. Whether you're a company trying to onboard frontline workers or just someone looking to pick up some new historical facts on your morning commute, there is an optimized platform perfectly designed for exactly what you need. What's genuinely fantastic about these platforms is just how specialized they've become. You've got Docebo using AI to personalize global training to pinpoint specific skill gaps. Then there's Nibble, which uses gamification to teach you history and math in these highly interactive 5-minute sessions. For corporate teams, tools like SC Training and Axonify are specifically built mobile-first, designed for deskless workers who maybe only have a few spare minutes between tasks. And for personal development, Blinkist strips away all the fluff of dense nonfiction and gives you just the core insights in about 15 minutes. Finally, Section 5, Building Your Daily Habit. Look, as we've seen throughout this explainer, the secret here isn't to magically clear your entire calendar. It's just about redirecting a tiny fraction of your screen time into a scientifically backed app. The exact same psychological hooks that keep you aimlessly scrolling through your feeds, they can easily be redirected into 5 minutes of interactive, bite-sized lessons that actually build real, durable knowledge. So, I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder today. The tools and the cognitive science are sitting right there waiting for you. Are you finally ready to shift your mindset from learning takes hours to learning takes minutes? The days of agonizingly long lectures are essentially over. So what new skill are you going to master in just 5 minutes tomorrow?